Alrighty. This is a impromptu live. How's it going, Tim? How's this feeling? I was just planning some trades for myself and thinking, why not do it live? Why not do this session live? Instead of doing this on my own time, why not give you guys a quick look on how I go through the charts? Now, for the most part, I will go through things I've already discussed with folk on the Discord. We did have a C Clubhouse session today. I did do a premium video on the dashboard a few days ago too, so it can be a tad bit redundant, for lack of a better word. No way. No way. Hulk Hogan? No way. Honestly, man, you're kidding me. No effing way. Is that why they were talking about Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior in the Grove today? Oh, man. And I was gonna post the Shawn Michaels clip of him mocking Hogan. I'm so glad I did not do that. Oh man, honestly, during the entire election and Hogan came out supporting Trump, I honestly looked at the guy and I felt like this guy's never ever gonna die. He felt immortal. Jesus Christ, that is so hard to hear. That is so sad, man. That is so sad. Oh, that is terrible news. Oh, rest in peace, Hogan. Holy crap, man. Okay, this is gonna be an honor. Hogan. You know what? Let's do it. Guys, this is so sad to hear. This is bringing back memories of my dad too. My dad was a huge Hogan fan, and it's probably why me and my brother got into WWF. My dad used to sit in front of the little TV that we had and watch WWF, and my brother and I we used to sit by him and he used to tear his T-shirt. My dad used to do the whole tear thingy that Hogan did. That's how much of a big fan my dad was. So my dad used to go to the gym because of Hogan, and I probably have kept fit because my dad's. Yeah, like Hogan has indirectly affected my life too, because yeah, man, Hogan. And of course, I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan. So. Oh, this is really sad news. Rest in peace, buddy. Oh, hey, I just saw your thingy, super chat. Appreciate that, man. Jesus. Yeah, this was peak Hogan, right? In my opinion, Hogan being heel, and then that prompted like you gotta wonder, right? Would there have been a DX if there wasn't Hogan, right? If there wasn't NWO, would there be Shawn Michaels and DX? And then it just makes you wonder. So much would not have happened. In a way, Hogan created both of the great eras that WWF had. I mean, it's kind of funny that I know so much about all of this. But he deserves it, man. He deserves this this tribute. Let me pop out the chat. Oh shit, no. I was gonna end stream. How do I do this? Alright, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I was in a good mood, and I'm still in a good mood, but I'm a little somber now. You had the Hulk Hogan lunchbox. Oh. Rest in peace, indeed. Alright, guys. Damn, got a tad bit emotional there. Hey, no, I don't apologize, man. I'm glad I found out this way, you know, with you guys. So let's get to it. The markets have been pulling back, and this is kind of what I've been looking for. Now, here's the thing. The markets pull back, and they kind of already bounce, right? So a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is a tad bit outdated, but we did have a conversation in the Seed Clubhouse session today, which essentially it kind of played out, or is playing out as we speak. I was looking for a pullback for a while now because I've been looking to bid on coins that I want to add size to. So specifically Ethereum, as you guys know. There are a couple of other altcoins too that I'm not going to talk about here on the live stream because I don't want people like, copy trading, etc., etc. But if you guys do have requests, and those requests do happen to be coins that I am in, I will let you guys know, because I'll have I'll be more familiar with the chart, right? Because they're usually coins that I've been trend trading for a while. How's it going, Julian? Good to see you in here, man. It's been a while since I've seen you in one of our live streams. You've been busy, eh? Hulk isn't gone, man. He's immortalized in all of our hearts. He's still here. He's always going to be here with us. So Ethereum, as you guys can see, long across all the time frames. The daily and the 2-day, though, looking a tad bit red volatility is not something you want to see. The 12-hour, though, is now back to being blue. the 4-hour had flipped back to neutral and now back again to long. Like it literally just flipped back to long. We were seeing bid opportunities across the board, and the dashboard was was basically indicating those bid opportunities. Now, again, I'm still trying to get over the Hogan thing, but Jesus Christ, we were looking. So one of the things I was talking about today was when you guys see pullbacks, right? You shouldn't let it scare you. One of the best ways, I'm going to use RV as an example, to understand when a pullback is actually an opportunity is to look for the higher time frames being long, right? And again, a lot of people think that, hey, Sean, how can you be bullish on this? It's coming down. The 4 hours bearish, the 12 hours bearish, the daily is bearish. But no, when you're looking for a pullback on the higher time frame trends, this is exactly the structure you want to look for. Because yeah, it would be great for everything to be green, and in that case, you'd be buying momentum across all time frames. But as a trader, you want to be buying at the best price possible, right? But you don't want to be buying too deep either. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and try to redraw this for you guys. How do I do this? Okay, I'll push this here. Now, the way to look at it is if you have a long trend on the high time frames, right? This is how you want to look at it. Here is your weekly. Here is your 4-day. Here is your 2-day, for example, right? And then you get your downtrend. Again, I'm going to change colors. And there is your 4-hour, there is your 12-hour, and there is your daily, right? So you get your long trend on the high time frames, so your weekly, your 4-day, and your 2-day, right? Then you get your downtrend on the low time frames, your daily, your 4-hour, your 12-hour, or you can look at it the other way around too. It doesn't matter. What you end up realizing is that, hey, I'm getting to buy a pullback, but what do you know? This is a bull flag. What you don't want though is this to be a deep pullback, because then at that point you're threatening the higher time frame trends as well, right? Because if this bull flag goes deeper and deeper and deeper, at that point, this trend of the 4-day is getting threatened, right? So yeah, it could go that deep, but you got to ask yourself, how deep are you willing for it to go before you bid? And this structure over here is usually good enough in a bull market, right? Going short all the way up to the daily. Now you want the 2-day to stay long, but if it does flip neutral, you're fine there too. So what you want to look for the perfect bull flag structure is 3 longs, 3 shorts, right? Or even a stronger bull flag structure would be 3 longs, 1 neutral, 2 shorts, right? A super strong bull flag would be like 2 reds, like 2 shorts, and 4 greens. Now, in the case of Ethereum, which has been one of the strongest coins, what we did have was a very, very tight bull flag, which essentially, it'll look like this, right? You have one strong impulse move where your weekly was long, your 4-day was long, your 2-day was long, your daily was long too, and then you had your 12-hour be neutral and your 4-hour be short, right? That's like a tight bull flag. So not all bull flags, like if you guys look at your pattern trading, right? If you look at the pattern trading cheat sheet, which doesn't take into consideration that every pattern is trend analysis, you'll see various structures of bull flags, and they are essentially just various depictions of trend analysis. So when you see the bull flags that look like this, right? It's essentially telling you that everything is green. Right, you have long across all time frames, which is essentially telling you that you have, where's my drawings? You have a structure like this, right? And in that case, you're likely going to have high volatility on your low time frames as well. And in that case, you want to look for a potential pullback eventually, because these structures don't often break up, but when they do, it's very, very strong. Does that make sense? I was supposed to talk about trade setups today, but I just can't help myself. I have to go into these educational bouts. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're essentially looking for these kind of trade setups, guys. This is what you want to look for, right? So RV is a really, really good example. If you guys are trading it, I'm not sure, but I did like the setup on this one. We can go ahead and look at Ethereum. Ethereum was a strong structure. Let's go look at ETH BTC. What are we seeing over here? this is a completely different example, right? This doesn't have the structure that we're talking about at all, because remember, this is Ethereum against Bitcoin. So what we're doing over here is comparing one bull to another bull. And what this is telling us is that Ethereum has just begun to gain momentum against Bitcoin, right? Yes, we have a lot of green over here, but the high time frame is still neutral. So this, when you see something like this, where the high time frames have not flipped yet, you might be seeing consolidation or rounding formation on the higher time frames, right? So this is the kind of structure, by the way, that we were seeing on BTC USD when Bitcoin was around $16,000 to $17,000. Those of you who were following us all the way back then will remember that when we were analyzing the dashboard on a daily basis back then, this is what we were looking for. And we started seeing the low time frames first flip long, the 12-hour, the daily, the 2-day, and the 4-day and the weekly flip long last. Indeed, a life well lived, Meg. I do agree with that. So let's go and talk about some trades. And hey, if you guys are looking to follow us along on any of the trades, don't forget to take advantage of the Bitunix link in the description down below. The link is themangoway.com/Bitunix. There's a great campaign running at the moment. We got them to extend it because of the summer months. Ends 31st July though. So essentially the way it works is, and you get to stack all of this, so this is how it works. Depending on how much you deposit, you get up to 400 cash back in your account. So if you deposit 2,000, you get 400 back. And then you get to stack that with your trading rewards for trading, right? So you get another 500 depending on how much you do trade. So that's 400 plus 500. And then you get to stack that with the live stream bonus giveaways that we've been having too. So we were supposed to give away 1,000 every live stream, but what we're doing instead is, I don't do the giveaways on my live streams, but you do qualify if you do deposit. You have to deposit only $50 to qualify for the giveaway, by the way. You do qualify for the deposit, and Krisha is going to give away $2,000 on her live stream instead, right? So you get a $2,000 giveaway that you do get to stack with these deposit rewards. So if you do deposit, not only do you get up to $400 for depositing, for sure, right? You get that for sure. But then on top of that, you also get a chance to win another 1,000. And then on top of that, you get your trading reward. This is ridiculous. Like this, you get all of this buffers against your losses and also pads your winners, right? So again, take advantage of these kind of things. In a few years, you're going to be looking back at these things that are commonplace today, right? It's only because this space is kicking off. It's not gonna be, once the winners are all picked, guys, these guys are not gonna be giving out money, not this easily, right? Like I had to deposit like $100,000 into a Wealth Simple account in Canada just to get one stupid MacBook or iPhone or something like that. Like, yeah, it's a big difference. Okay, now back on over to the charts. Oh yeah, I do want to mention that in the previous live stream, where is that? Yeah, in the previous live stream, there was one dude who won 2 of the spins, right? He won twice. Like, look at the amount of people who entered. Look at the amount of people who entered. And look at Krisha's face. Look at Krisha's face when he won twice. It was hilarious, right? This guy won twice. So yeah, just wanted to mention that, hey, you could win twice. Now, let's jump on over to charts by looking fantastic. I do want to go on over to Bitcoin, though. I want to talk about how to look at the structure here, okay? The structure is really, really, really annoying. I've been waiting for this to break down for a while now, because if Bitcoin breaks down, you would think that the altcoins would break down deeper, right? Allowing you to pick up ETH USD cheaper, or maybe perhaps even ETH Bitcoin comes down lower, and we'll talk about that very, very soon. But this thing has been relentless. This thing is just not willing to lose the 12-hour Mango dynamic at all. And that's what I've been using as a basis for my edge. Now, you guys can use whatever you guys want for your edge on whether Bitcoin breaks up or breaks down, but I've been looking at this on the 12-hour dynamic, right? And as soon as this does break down, if we do lose the 12-hour dynamic, if the bulls do give it up, if the bears do claim it, I'll be looking straight towards the 2-day dynamic, which, what do you know, now lines up perfectly with our breakout zone, this red box territory that we have marked out, right? So a lot of confluence now over here if we do break down on the 12-hour. But do we break down on the 12-hour? Because this is a bull flag. This is looking good, right? So if we do see a 2-day candle close above $119, $260, and then if we do take out this high here at 121, I'm giving a big probability chance for continuation all the way up to like 135, possibly to 145.50, right? At that point, likely going to see the next impulse. That being said, what we do have to guard against is this high being tapped and us not closing candles above it, right? If we tap that high and instead we just do this, I think we come to test the 2-day dynamic. What we don't want to see, regardless of what happens, okay, regardless of what happens, what we don't want to see is around 111-ish be lost. What we definitely don't want to see is this region over here be taken out, okay? That is going to be a red flag. I do not want to see that region get taken out, because at that point, if that region is taken out, it better be because of a huge market scare. It better be because there's some freaking war that has erupted out there and the whole market scare. It cannot be over nothing, because that is the market telling us that, hey, it's probably time. It's probably time. I know it's us front running the gun over there, but no, you know what? It does line up. It does line up. We won't be front running much, guys, because the 4-day dynamic will be lost too at that juncture, and I would not want to see the 4-day dynamic get lost at that point. Now, could it end up being? I know I'm talking. I know I'm going down a bearish tilt over here, and you guys are not used to hearing me talk about the side, because hey, if you guys are only joining the space now, right? But hey, you know, Mango does turn bearish. We did turn bearish at 53K Bitcoin. Over here last cycle, right? It was a very similar story, right? At one point we had to call a spade a spade. We lost the monthly 10 swing and we lost the 4-day, had to call a spade, and we were right to turn bearish. So if I see the signs, guys, I will be turning bearish, and the first big sign to me is going to be losing this juncture over here at $100,000 now, right? Happens to line up with the key psychological level too. So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope that if we do come down, Bitcoin does get picked up. Now I could be wrong. Okay, I could get faked out in that this could end up being a trap where we just end up consolidating and going back up, and I'll have a plan for that too. But I'm just telling you guys how I will be trading it. A lot of people are probably going to come and give us shit and say, hey, but you guys flip bearish. What now, huh? What now, huh? Hey, this is a trading channel, all right? We don't care about being right or wrong. We just want to make money. You guys are going to be so focused on wanting to be right that you're going to lose all your money. And regardless of whether we get faked out a couple of times or not, we are going to likely outperform most of this market. Why? Because we are willing to be wrong, and you should be willing to be wrong too. People often ask me, "Hey, Sean, how do you manage a bull trap or a bear trap?" My answer to them is always, get trapped. It's fine. Just get trapped. You don't need to win every single trade. What you do need to do is follow your strategy end to end. Okay? Your strategy never includes just one trade, right? You're not betting the entire freaking bank on one single trade, right? No, your strategy is going to include putting on a certain kind of setup over and over and over and over again. So if we do get activated on a setup to go bullish again, I will go bullish again. But I'm just saying, guys, what I don't want to see. Now, the bi-weekly dynamic is coming in at $96,000, and our level at the moment where we start flipping. Remember, it's not going to be like complete bearish in one go, right? It's not going to be complete bearish in one go. It's going to be like, okay, one trigger, second trigger, third trigger. And each time we get psychologically more and more ready to completely scale out, right? Today, we're talking about actual execution stuff. Today, we're talking about actual trade setups. So with all of that bearish talk, I'm still putting on bullish trades. Why? Because we're holding the freaking 12-hour dynamic. It's as simple as that. I was telling the seedlings today too. I'm like, it doesn't matter, okay? We're talking about ETH BTC specifically because we're using Bitcoin as a basis to put on our altcoin trades. I was telling the seedling, there you go. Nice bounce, hey guys, nice bounce. So right over here, the candle, sorry, I just need a quick sip of water. Kusha, I forgot to get myself some, I forgot to get some water. If you're here, could you just bring me some water, please? Yeah, where was I? Yeah, ETHBC. I was saying seedlings that this candle earlier today was red, right? And yes, it did not I would have liked for ETH to come all the way down to the 2-day dynamic, which is, let me go ahead and pull it up right here. The 2-day dynamic is coming in somewhere at around 0.0279. We get to bid at 0.028, but the fact that it's the 12-hour dynamic and we have a setup that we have been following over and over again, which is after prolonged consolidation by the first test of the 12-hour dynamic after the impulsive move, right? So again, what do I mean by that? I'm going to draw it out for you guys. Let's say you have a long consolidation, right? And then boom, impulsive move. The first test of the 12-hour dynamic, you do not want to bet against it. It could fail, yes, but if you take this trade enough times, so far, guys, what is it? What's the success rate on this trade? 90%? 95%? Like at the minimum, it's 85%, right? Like at the very least, you'll get to catch a bounce and you get to take some profits on a bounce like this. And again, it worked out. Oops. Oh man. Imagine if, hey, Krisha's here. Where's my tab? Okay, yeah, 12 hour. Okay. Yeah, so again, the 12-hour dynamic, sorry guys, Krisha just entered my room, lost concentration. Yeah, the 12-hour dynamic was tested and I was like, we may not want to buy it. Okay, we may want this to come down. We may be feeling bearish because Bitcoin's looking so freaking annoying at the moment. It's sitting at our cyclical targets. It's consolidating. It's being a freaking BTC. Yeah, get your mind out of the gutters, guys. And Ethereum, we want to buy it deeper, right? We want to add deeper. But sometimes the market is going to force you into an uncomfortable situation, and that discomfort might be your edge. Now, again, we don't know. This could break down, but it doesn't matter. You put on the trade regardless. 12-hour dynamic has been a winning trade after prolonged consolidation this entire cycle. Okay, ETHUSD. Here's the thing. ETHUSD is where I have a big problem with this trade, right? Like I want ETHBTC to come down, right? Why? Because again, let's put everything together, guys. Let's put everything together. Remember, Bitcoin is being stubborn and not breaking down. Okay, if it does break down, I want it to break down only this much, right? I want certain perfect conditions, right? I don't want it to go down any further than this. So I want it to break down, but I don't want it to go down any further than this. Now, if Bitcoin breaks down around like 5 to 7%, I want ETHUSD to break down, but I want it to break down way more, right? Maybe 24%, right? 24%. It's setting up against weekly and monthly resistance, making it extremely difficult to buy, right? Now, why do I want this to dump 24%? Because I want there to be a delta between how much Bitcoin dumps and how much ETH dumps, right? I want ETH to dump more. Why? Because that gives me a deeper bid on ETHBTC. Because now I get to bid ETHBTC at maybe a 15% drawdown, right? You guys understand where my mind is at, right? If you look at ETHUSD, it's just really difficult to buy here, right? ETH does this though. It makes you uncomfortable on the USD pairing. It makes you uncomfortable on the Bitcoin pairing too, because the Bitcoin pairing is just like one straight line, right? Which is why we front ran our ETHBTC buy, even though the plan was to wait for, I don't want to say plan, the plan was actually to buy over here, right? Because the plan was all the way freaking last cycle. The plan was we got bearish over here and then ultra bearish over here, and we were like, guys, 0.01764. So we did not follow the plan because we were supposed to buy here. And then we're like, okay, the weekly is still bearish, so we are allowed to not buy. But then I realized, no, you know what? The 3-day dynamic is holding. I got to start buying. So I kind of front ran my excuse to not buy. And now look at that. I'm so glad I did, because we got this freaking candle in our faces. But I'm still not all that happy with my position, because I have a feeling ETH wants to run harder. I really, really, really do. And I think this ETHUSD pairing two over here, this is the kind of thing that's likely going to just smash through the resistance, right? So yeah, I think ETH is going to be forcing people to buy at uncomfortable positions, or people are going to be chasing throughout the cycle. It's just the nature of the beast, man. You got to be bearish on ETH while it's being ultra bearish, and then you got to know when to just... All the ETH bulls capitulated. Everyone, right? Now is the time to be bullish ETH. If you go on to the daily, this is looking good. If you go on to the 2-day, looking good. Man, this is like a bull flag right outside the freaking triangle. Oh, this looks really good. This looks really good. What should I do next? Okay, ETH is done. Okay, XRP was just a flat out buy here. Okay, this was our red box territory that we had marked out all the way when we had this big dip over here, this entire consolidation. I marked out a sandwich for you guys, right? The top of the sandwich, the bottom of the sandwich. So now we are retesting the sandwich. And now, if you look on over to the weekly, you can see that ignore everything. I've been telling you guys, just watch XRP on the bi-weekly, nothing else. Just watch XRP on the bi-weekly, right? Now, if you guys insist on lowering your time frame, lower it down to the weekly. Because look how clean this is. We just broken above structure, okay? And now we're coming down to test structure. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And again, one of the other rules besides the 12-hour dynamic rule that I've been pushing to you guys is allow for every breakout to break back within the structure. Just because this breaks back into the structure doesn't mean it's bad. All it means is that you bid it. That's it. So again, my red box is here, right? You should be looking to bid all the way down to 2.56, and it's gonna be an opportunity. If you get it, bid it. Okay. If you're an XRP bull, don't get bearish. Where the hell is your bullishness? You should be perma bull. Okay, don't whine and complain. What's happening? Why is it not pumping? No, XRP has been one of the strongest freaking coins this entire cycle, this entire move at the very least, ever since this breakout, right? Because this entire consolidation here, everything else was going to shit. XRP was just going sideways. A lot of the times, it was long against the Bitcoin pairing. So XRP has been fantastic. This is coming from a guy who is not an XRP bull. You guys are supposed to be XRP bulls. What the hell are you guys doing? Come on, guys, come on. Like, bid when you're supposed to be bidding. Patience when you're supposed to be patient, because then the market will not wear you thin, will not exhaust you. A lot of you guys are getting mentally exhausted and you don't have the mental agility and acuity to actually execute when the time is right. All right, XRP looking fantastic. Can I say the same thing about Cardano? Not yet. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have to call a spade, and I just cannot say the same thing about Cardano. On monthly, though, it's not all that bad. On monthly, it's actually looking fantastic, and Cardano will have its time. And if you are a Cardano bull, there's no shame in saying, I'm going to use Ethereum to collect more Cardano. I'm going to use XRP to collect Cardano. You know, the Bitcoin bulls, all of us Bitcoin bulls, we've had our time. We enjoyed our time. And a lot of Bitcoin bulls are going to make the mistake of thinking that their time will persist forever. No. Everyone has their time in the sun, and then you got to step aside and let someone else take over. And during that period is the best time to collect more of your favorite coin. Okay? So either way, you win. When your coin is pumping, you're winning. When your coin is not pumping, you're still winning because you get to collect more of your coin, because your coin is cheaper relative to other coins. Could you look at HBAR, says Jonathan Lanza. Sure, let's go look at HBAR. I think Kusha's done a video on HBAR, right? HBAR, I'm not liking this so far. Okay, not bad. This is, okay, there you go, guys. This is a structure that you'd want to see, right? Because long on the weekly, long on the 4-day, long on the 2-day, and neutral on the daily and the 12-hour, 4-hour short as well. Volatility high on the 2-day as well. You do have potential bearish divergence on the daily. Bullish Ichimoku on the daily though, and Death Cross. Ooh, Death Cross on the daily, eh? Let's go check that out. HBAR, USD. Oh. Was it daily or the 2-day, guys, that had the Death Cross? Okay, I see. That needs to be fixed. Okay, that does need to be fixed. Okay, but guys, HBAR. If I had to ask you, okay, let's clear all of this. Clear out all the indicators, all the trend lines. What do you guys think of the structure? Bullish or bearish? I want you guys to share your thoughts. Very, very untidy. You're bullish. Says I'm bullish. John said I'm bullish. Whale selling, crash incoming. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. If you like, a lot of times, right, the candles may scare you guys because of the color of the candles, especially if you're new. What I suggest you do is just look at the line chart, and then you suddenly see, oh, wait a minute, this could be the beginning of something really, really, really powerful, right? Because you already had your move, right? You had your down move. Where's my drawing tool? Right here, right? You had your down move, right? And now you have a nice rounded consolidation. This is the perfect structure. Like, if this can manage to break out here, you actually have a measured move where you could potentially use this entire flag, but we're going to be conservative and just look for the W underneath, all the way back up to around 33. At that point, you're looking towards all-time highs getting hit, and then potentially much higher. Yeah, 33 right over here. Let's go look at the Ichimoku, see what it's saying. A lot of information. Red cloud still on the 2-day. Daily green. 12-hour green. It's I'll be honest with you guys, it's pulling back a tad bit more than I would like, right? Let's go see what the 2-day dynamic is saying. Not bad. Yeah, test of the daily. I think this could continue to meet its measure move at the very least at around 33. And after that, you kind of want to look to see if you can clear 33. All right, next coin. Any coins? HBAR is XRP Junior, says Moto. The thing, right, is you cannot compare most coins to XRP. Like, how many of the major coins, guys, have actually put in new highs? How many? Besides Bitcoin, of course. Like, even Ethereum hasn't done it yet, right? It's not all that far away at this point. Has XLM done it? XLM has put in new highs? No, it hasn't. Is it only XRP? It's only XRP, guys. ZBCN. I haven't heard of that one, man. Is that a new coin? Oh shit, it's here on the dashboard. Still neutral on the weekly, 4-day and 2-day. So not a big fan of that. Let's see. ZBCN. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, like as long as it's holding 0.0036046, looking good. If it loses that, likely wants to come down to 0.00025. If it loses that, it likely wants to come down further, but you don't want to lose this structure here. Do not want to lose 0.0024. Back on over to XRP. John, listen, listen, I'm going to tell you guys, okay? Don't worry about the whales. Don't talk about the whales. There's no conspiracy where people are trying to manipulate the markets and, screw you guys over and screw the fish over, screw the retail over. There's nothing like that, okay? Whales are most of the time trying to make calculated guesses themselves. Yes, they might have edge, but there are a lot of times they are fed a lot of wrong information too, and their positions are hunted. right? They're whales playing games against whales. They have their own shit to worry about. Trust me. Trust me. Once you just say, I'm going to follow the charts, okay, you stop worrying about all of that and your life gets liberated. Trust me, I was in your shoes. I made all the same mistakes. Things like, sell walls, buy walls, none of that matter. Well, this volume structure that you're seeing over here, gunnery, this is good. This is good structure. Yeah, there's going to be FUD during times that you should likely be looking to be bullish, and there's going to be extreme euphoric ideas when you likely should be looking to exit the markets, right? You'll be hearing only bullish news all around, and you'll be wondering, why is the market going down? Everyone's so stupid. Like, all I hear is bullish news. There has to be a pickup very, very soon. But the market will be giving you clear indications that, hey, you should be selling, right? Trend indicators will be going off, right? Levels that should be holding will be lost, and all you'll be seeing around you is bullish news, right? Watch out for that. Watch out for that. And you'll ignore every signal to take profits. Volume. So John, another thing. Volume going down while the market is going up is extremely bullish. Okay, extremely bullish. People misunderstand that. When price is going up on decreasing volume, that is really, really bullish. If you ever hear someone saying, oh, there's no volume at all and price is going up, that's so bearish. Market is going up on low volume. No, that is bullish. What does that tell you? What does that tell you when there's no volume and the market is going up? Think about it. All right, XLM. I'll try to give you guys a trade setup as well. If I do see one, if I don't see a trade setup, just flat out. Sometimes there's just no trade, guys. Weekly long, 4J long, 2-day long. This is the kind of structure you do want to see. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a trade on XLM. Okay, XRP, by the way, guys. Remember, do not remember the 5th of November. Where the hell are my drawings? Okay, there we go. This red box is the bid zone, all right? This is the trade setup right here, especially for you longer term traders, your long time frame traders, your high time frame traders. The weekly, bi-weekly is what you want to be playing. The weekly looks like a freaking bull flag breakout. The bi-weekly looks fantastic as well. There's no reason for on XRP to be playing the lower time frames. I don't think so at the very least, right? But yeah, let's go back on over to XLM. Okay, so XLM, same story. But we have this box I marked out a while ago, and we did clear above it, and we're coming back down to test it, right? So again, remember, when you draw a zone, you're giving yourself a lot more room to play with, right? This is why I like zones as opposed to one thin horizontal line. So this zone was the bid zone right over here at 0.04, 40 cents. And if you do lose that, I'll be looking for this to come down to around 0.33. So you could, honestly, if you do see the market break down, this could be a good short opportunity. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but there's a good edge here, right? At the very least, you could go short your allocation. You don't need to put on a leverage trade. You could say, you know what, I'm selling maybe 10% of my stash and buying back cheaper around 0.29, right? Or you could just put on a leverage trade on this one, because if this breaks down, if this loses this zone over here, it may want to come all the way back down to 30 cents. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but yeah, I'd say 33, right? again, if you guys do want to follow along on these trade setups, XLM isn't the cleanest, but again, if you guys do want to follow along, check out Bitunix. We are running a great campaign in partnership with them at the moment, where if you do deposit $2,000, you get $400 back, and you get to stack that with the $2,000 giveaway bonus for every live stream. And again, to qualify for the live stream, all you need to do is, for the live stream bonus, all you need to do is deposit at least $50. But hey, if you deposit 2,000, you get 400 back, plus a chance to win 1,000, and then your trading rewards as well. It's a lot of free money. Okay, that's yeah, and the link is in the description below, themangoway.com/Bitunix. Let's go back onto XLM. Let's see. Let's see this 3-month chart. XLM isn't the cleanest, guys. I have to say that, right? And and you know what? You guys can really trust me when it comes to altcoins, because I'm literally, I have no bias to any altcoin. I will trade the strongest coin. I'm just looking for the strongest coin. If that's XRP, like you guys saw how quick I was to become an XRP fan, right? Similar story with Ethereum. As soon as I spot strength, I will trade it. XLM will have these kind of moves, right? These big moves, but it's not making it easy to trade, right? So if you are an XLM believer, you'll enjoy this kind of thing. But as a trader, it's really difficult to sit through this kind of drawdown and just believe in the coin. You gotta have these kind of, like, for example, let me delete all of these drawings. Like, let's say I was trading XLM, okay, and I was looking at this drawdown over here. As a trader, I wouldn't be buying over here. I'd be like, no. I have this red box territory that I'd drawn out all the way here. These red zones, by the way, guys, I drew out all the way in 2021. It's the same zones. You guys can see that it's let me undo it. You can see that it's clean over here. I used this structure over here, right? And I just stretched it out to here. Until today, XLM is following it. And you can see that on the drawdown, we had the falling channel onto that structure. So it's clean if you're patient, but you gotta be patient. So if we lose this level here, I'll be looking for 0.28. 0.33 to 0.28. If you want a 10x, that won't be ETH, SOL, or XRP. I would not say that with that much confidence, Seth. I've been there, made that mistake, and I watched Ethereum go from $100 to $1,400 in 2017. Luckily, I did have Ethereum on hand, but not as much of the size as I should have had, right? Because I bought other altcoins that had a better chance of doing a much higher percent or doing a 10x. Right, ETH had already run from around 20, 25 to 100. Right, how much more could it have gone up? Right, that's what my thought process was. And then what did it do? It went up from 100 to 1,400. 10x by 2030. Yes, yeah. Like honestly, like what 2030 is not. 5 years have passed by in no time. Like if you can say that with so much confidence, like sometimes there's something to be said for confidence, right? If you have a high confidence, if you're very, very sure that ETH is likely going to make it to 10x, would be $30,000. That's a good trade, man. Versus a coin that you don't have all that much confidence on going up, but you want it to go up you wanted to do a 10x within the next 2 years, right? So you're like, no, you know what? I'm not willing to wait 3 years more for something that I have confidence in. So I'm willing to risk 80% drawdown between now and then on a coin that I have no confidence in. No, we did do ADA. Yes, you missed it. XRP is already worth as much as ADA. You mean McDonald's? That's crazy, man. Is it really? That's insane. There's a So there's this website that we should look at it more often, but there's a way to look at companies, right? And Bitcoin's number 5 now. And you're saying that McDonald's, so where would XRP be? Let's look at McDonald's. How do you spell McDonald's? It's not even on here. What's the ticker? MCD? I like how they put Bitcoin as a company. Yeah, the XRP is not on the list of companies though. I believe every bank on this planet will be utilizing XRP. Should get interesting in the next couple of years. That would be insane. Dogecoin, let's do Dogecoin. Again, you can find the dashboard at app.mangoresearch.co. Weekly still short. Oof. Okay, this is going to be the last coin we do. It's really late. 4-day long. I'm not a big fan of this, guys. It did flip from short to neutral, so there's hope. But let's go take a look at the chart. DOGE, USDT. I mean, honestly, it's not all that bad. Yeah, this is actually a bid opportunity, Ariza. This is a bid right here, 21 cents. It's definitely worth putting on the trade here, to be honest, because if you lose the structure here, likely easy to just exit and look for lower after. This is how I would be looking to trade this on the weekly. We have 3 days and 2 hours. So you want to be buying at around 0.22 and you want it to close here at 0.23. But that trade's kind of already played out because you kind of already wicked down to 0.22 and we're kind of closing above 0.23 already. You can see it kind of happened already. But there's 3 days and 2 hours, so it could happen again. Look towards the lower time frames. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame. This looks like it wants to come and revisit this lower here. So you may see this get tapped here, right? And then get picked up. So what you're looking for is this kind of structure and then back up here. So this low likely wants to get tapped. Let's see though. If the rest of the market just picks up, it may not happen. But that's the bid I'd be looking for. But then again, it's the weekly. Another way to play it is simply saying, I'm going to just buy here and I'm going to be looking for this to close about 0.23 for strength. You don't want it to close all the way down at 0.21. That's not in a bull market, not when there are coins that are stronger. Oh, Krisha is the big. You guys should see Krisha around mangoes. Oh man, she can't control herself. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap up here. It's pretty late. I am tired. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Again, don't forget to take advantage of the last week of the Bitunix campaign. You get up to $400 gallons. Like I just joined. Isn't Bitunix a Ponzi? It's an exchange, man. I mean, it depends on what you think is a Ponzi. In your mind, what a Ponzi is. Oh, but on that note, guys, make sure to never, ever, ever, ever trust any exchange, right? You only want to keep enough funds on an exchange that you're actually trading. Do not use the exchange for convenience. Don't keep funds on there that you're not actually using. There's one thing that has played out every single cycle, that there's some exchange that will always go down. Remember, these exchanges are here for you to use as a tool to facilitate your trades, especially when you're getting offers like this, where they're giving you cash to pad your losses and fund your trades, essentially, right? Use it for just that. Like, think about it, right? If they are giving you $400 of margin, what that means essentially is you get to put that much less margin in your account, right? So one thing I like to tell even the seedlings is that you use leverage not to increase your risk, but you use leverage to actually decrease your risk by deferring counterparty risk, right? So you can put on these spot trades, pseudo spot trades, by essentially using leverage, right? So for example, let's say you want to buy $4,000 of Bitcoin, right? Well, you don't need to put in $4,000 on the exchange very quickly. What you can do is send only $2,000 onto the exchange, put on a 2x leverage trade, get exposure to that $4,000 of a Bitcoin exposure. And hey, guess what? What does Bitunix do while you're doing that? They give you $400, right? So one, you've reduced your risk by not putting $4,000 into the exchange. You put in only $2,000 into the exchange. Two, you have programs like this where the freaking exchange is giving you cash back, right? So now you've reduced your Bitcoin cost, right? You've bought $4,000 worth of exposure on Bitcoin with only $1,600 of your margin put up. Okay, right? Now you can use your time to go and settle that at your own pace, right? Eventually, you don't want to be holding too much funds on the exchange, so you can just send that all. You can basically send more funds slowly and surely into the exchange, settle that trade, make it an entire spot trade, and then when you're ready, send it back to your hardware wallet, right? There's so much you can do by deferring counterparty risk. Or you could just wait for that trade to be done. Okay, you get that $4,000 worth of exposure to Bitcoin. You take your profits, close out the trade, take your profits out of the trade, and put it back into your hardware wallet. Be smart about this, guys, okay? Today it's Bitunix that we are using. Tomorrow it might be a different exchange. Like, remember, the year before that, the previous cycle, we were using BitGet. And the cycle before that, we were using Debit. Debit, in my opinion, is still the best exchange I've used, mostly because they had options that allowed me to structure my trades a lot safer. But hey, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. At the moment, I'm really liking Bitunix, and I like the team. I like the guys who are working there at the moment. I trust them because, again, the same guy I worked with at BitGet. I like the guy. So yeah, cheers, guys. Can I put the 2,000 and get the 400 extra and withdraw instantly? The way it works is that they won't give you the 400 instantly because they're doing it, I think, once a week, right? They check people's withdrawal thingy, the deposit thingy only once a week. So no, they don't give it. You won't get it instantly. All right, let's see, just going through the comments. I'm scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss anything. 10x by, okay, I read that. Oh, I think I got them all. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress-free, and trade safe out there. Ciao.